Welcome to the Life Laid Bare podcast, where we strip life back, speak honestly, and get real about what it takes to build a better version of yourself. Welcome back to the Life Laid Bare podcast. In this episode, we're speaking about mindset, what mindset is, how it actually shapes your life, and can control everything for you or against you, but also how to build a really strong mindset that will actually help you in your life.
It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Episode 2. Oh, the success of episode 1. What do we get? About 100 views or something?
100 views for
I'll take that.
First episode.
I'll take that.
Which I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's really good. Good feedback from it. A lot of people reaching out, getting in touch. So yeah, we really appreciate all the views. Sharing the episode is great as well. We are looking for sponsors to come on board. Within that, we'll look at doing an advertisement section at the start of the podcast. We speak about your business, speak about what your company actually does, services offered. So if anybody who does come across this podcast or you are interested in sponsoring us, please reach out. We can have a chat and we can see what we can do going forward.
Lots of options, not just big sponsorships. You're always happy to have.
Yeah, you can get an episode where there's a shout out, a couple of episodes sponsored for a period of time, but it will go to a good cause. Everything that is sponsored is directly fed back into the podcast as well. We're not looking for any profit made out of this. We're not in this for any sort of financial gain or anything like that. It's just getting a message out there, having good conversations. But yeah, the support would be absolutely fantastic for it, and we could actually take it a bit further when looking at getting equipment or whatever we need for the podcast as well. Because as you know, we're just starting off one episode deep. Episode 2, mindset, something that I've worked on for a lot of years for myself and clients. Something that I think about almost every single day is my mindset. Where am I? How do I improve it? What do I want to keep doing? How do I keep pushing forward when things might get a bit tough? In any areas, it could be work, life in general, how busy things get, or if you're looking at actually achieving something and working towards something, what is the mindset that actually takes you to the point where you're achieving X, whatever you've set out?
It's the various parts of your life that you probably don't actually appreciate how much mindset comes into it. You know, you talk about exercise, you talk about getting up for work in the morning, you talk about, I coached for 20 odd years. It's, what you bring into that coaching environment, in an individual environment, in a team environment, it affects everything.
Yeah.
It affects your relationship with your kids. It affects how you, when you're knackered, you're 10 o'clock at night and the bairns are still up arguing with each other about what happened 5 hours ago. Maybe that's just in my house that happens, but
that happens in all of them.
But it's, the mindset that you've got to have at that time of night when you're communicating with your kids is not, it would be easy to default to the shouty dad, you know what I mean? But it's having the mindset to say, right, is that productive at 10 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
You ever had a poor mindset?
Oh, loads. Chronic.
Yeah.
For years, I would say. In various facets of life.
It's funny how it comes and goes though, like just sometimes. See, there's a really good video, I can't remember who was it, I know Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, there's like a table of like famous actors, and they're speaking and they're like, don't ever get too far ahead of yourself and celebrating too much of the high, but don't be too low either. But always remember, this too shall pass. So whatever's going on, if it's something that you're struggling with and mindset, your mindset's a bit, oh, this is not great and this is a hard time, this too shall pass.
Oh, definitely.
It's a really good, just little line just to remember, that no matter how hard it is, in any sort of area or anything that you're doing, you could be training for something, you could be working on something, you could be going for a job, you could be falling with the missus, or there's bad times financially, it could be a number of things where mindset's always involved. But if you always just revert back, there's something I was always just thought as well, as this too shall pass. And it's true.
It's a mental health thing as well, it's you see it. I mean, I've talked about it a lot in the past, did some stuff for SPFL Trust about mental health and whatnot, about bipolar disorder and whatnot, that, when you're in the depths of how bad things are, there's always a way out. There's always the, yes, you've hit the downslope, but there's always an upslope. It might take a while to get there, but there always is that sunnier days are around the corner, and it's having that mindset to kind of focus on that rather than the negativity at the time. And that's the difficult bit, and that's how you get stuck in that kind of negative loop of, I don't know, poor mindset, is that the right word for it?
Yeah.
Negative mindset.
I think what you said there though, right, is it could take a year. It could take you. It's the unknown sometimes, or how long, if you're in a bad place, of how long it'll actually take to come out of that. However, if you rewind it a wee bit and you think, right, okay, so this is crap. I'm in a shit place. It might take. I don't know when I'm going to get out of this.
Yeah.
There's things you can do to improve your mindset while you're in there. That'll actually could shorten that time.
Yeah.
Of how you actually
Control the controllables.
Exactly. How you're feeling. Can you get out and go for a walk?
Yeah.
Massive. I've been in a bad place before, and I remember like not having the motivation or the drive to like go to the gym every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which is a great tool to help when you're feeling a bit down or whatever, but just not having it, just my mindset was just in the bin, and just go for a walk, go for a 20-minute walk. You will feel
it's amazing the difference
slightly better.
But it's weird trying to motivate yourself to go out and do that when you're in the darkest pits of it. Is something as simple, and it's weird. I think you get stuck in this, and I've reflected on this a lot over the years. I think if you're going through that period of going through like a poor mindset, poor mental health, whatever we want to call it, I think it can be easy to almost keep yourself in that low, because there's a lot of emotional context going on there, and it's, there's times when you're sitting there when you're in a particularly dark spot that you think, I could get myself out of this, I could go for a walk and I would feel better in 20 minutes, but you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I think there is an element of conscious choice in that, and I've experienced that, where you almost kind of want to wallow a wee bit.
The victim mindset.
Yeah. And it's
brutal, isn't it?
And it's doing it to yourself, and it's, I think for a lot of people with poor mental health, it's, you get used to it, and there's a fear. There's a fear of, what's it feel like to not feel miserable anymore, you know what I mean, or not feel unhappy, and it's
letting it become your normal feeling low and accepting it, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah. So then it's the thought of, well, do I want to get out of this? This is the way my life is. It's, and it's there's a huge amount of factors go into that. There's there's physical health, there's mental health, there's circumstances, there's professional life, there's personal life, there's family, there's nutrition, exercise, hundreds of different factors that go into mindset and mental health. But sometimes it only takes changing one wee thing.
Yeah. One of the biggest things that you could do when it is like that as well, though, speak.
Oh, definitely.
Speak to someone. There's nothing better than sitting down with somebody you trust or that you can confide in, and just open up. Like, not always easy, because whatever's bothering you or what you're going through, you might not want to speak about, but if you can, find somebody that you can open up to, speak to, share what's weighing you down, because the problem shares problem.
Oh, definitely. I think the key is that you pick the right person, because it's got to be a conversation. It's got to be someone who's receptive to it and maybe understands what to do in those circumstances, and that's where you talk about like assist training and whatnot, even just the basics of that, just people having an understanding of how to have those conversations. And it's something, I mean, we'll do probably mental health focused podcasts in the future, but it's something that I think everybody should go through at some point, is doing some sort of mental health first aid, even an entry level one, so that your mate comes to you. We talk about it all the time. We talk about these various different men's clubs that are out there that talk about it being okay to talk and whatnot, and that's great. But if somebody doesn't know how to handle that conversation, it can be as dangerous as not having the conversation. If somebody just you get it, the typical man, that toxic masculinity. You'll be all right, mate.
Yeah.
That's not going to help the situation. You know what I mean? You need people who are going to understand, show a bit of empathy, because it's empathy you want there, not sympathy.
Yeah.
And just understand kind of what their role is in that conversation. But I think you're right. If you can find someone to have that conversation with,
it's amazing, isn't it?
It's a massive shift.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, it's a good mindset.
Yeah.
If you want to really test your mindset in a positive way, sign up for something hard.
Yeah.
Right. or something that you dislike. Say a physical challenge that you dislike doing. sign up for that, and here I'm just going to give an example, right? I've signed up for a half marathon.
So I've signed up for London.
In the ballot?
In the ballot.
Yeah, I've done the ballot as well. You heard back?
Yeah, but I don't run. Ever.
Mate, neither do I.
You run like most days. Well, not most days.
No, but
you tell people you run most days, but you
it,
don't.
Getting back into it. So I signed up for the half marathon last year, put my back out with like 4 weeks to go, never done it. Ran the distance of it a few weeks after recovered, just to do the distance.
Yeah.
But see, then not running again and then starting again, brutal.
Yeah.
Like, hate it. And it's like, we were having a conversation earlier, just like that keeping going where you can just stop.
Yeah.
And if you're on your own running as well, and say you want to go do 5k, 10k, and your head's just not in that place, stop with that.
Yeah.
You can just stop. But to actually keep going, because you're working towards something.
That's it. It gives you a goal.
Exactly. So you've set your goal, you're working towards something, your mindset is to push through your training sessions, keep going, until you do your event. Do the event. It's not going to be easy. You use your mindset, because with running, I think once you get past a certain distance, you're just running anyway. It's all in a lot of it is in your head. I mean, if you look at, and this is absolutely incredible, the guy Sebastian
Sawe.
That's it. A marathon in under 2 hours. Right, what was it, 1 hour 59 30 seconds?
Yeah.
I think that's right. Let's play it and chat through it. So, even running, now a good thing that I've really seen as well, people putting up on social media actually trying to run.
I saw that.
The pace.
Kirsty did it on hers the other day.
Yeah.
I sat and watched that.
There's been a number of people trying it.
If anybody wants a
well.
celebrant, drop it in for Kirsty.
Aye.
If you're getting married or having a funeral, we'll sort you out. But yeah, it's insane. You know what gets me is this bit here, right? You're in the final straight, he knows that the boy behind him's 30, 40 yards behind him. He could have slowed down there.
Yeah.
He could have just went, right.
He knows the time as well.
He knows where he is.
But look at that pace, that's sprinting.
So it was the thing I read it the other day, right? And they tracked his pace, so I think it was about mile 12 or 13, his pace dropped a little bit. And he did, I don't know if it was a written interview or a video interview afterwards, and he said that he actually felt worse when he dropped his pace because he got out of that stride. He wasn't, in terms of the biomechanics, he's in that bound and he's going. He said his legs felt heavier and so he picked up the pace again. Yeah. And that's probably what got him.
Yeah.
So the bit that gets me, right, is you look at Elliot Kipchoge, right, with Ineos sponsorship, went out there and they set the target to run the fastest marathon ever. So in that, he had shoes that are illegal in competition, he had pace runners that dropped in and out every couple of miles, he had a car with a laser circle in front of him that as long as he stayed within that circle, he was on track. He was going to break the time, right? Yeah. So he had all that technology, it cost Ineos hundreds of thousands, and he beat it with none of it. Beat it by 10 seconds.
It's amazing.
So the fastest marathon they thought was humanly possible.
Yeah. And he
with all the technology, and he went out and beat it by 10 seconds.
The mindset and that.
Like, it's insane.
I remember last year when I was training for the half marathon, I remember the first time I went out, I've always kept quite fit and we're playing football and all that, but never been into the distance running for years. Done it when I was a lot younger. But I remember going for it was just like a 5k or something I was doing. I was just like, how can anybody, you're talking 6 to 7 minute pace, and then how can anybody run a marathon? And then there's the ultra runners. I know a guy that I knew years ago, he's doing 100 miles and being over mountains now.
It's nuts.
How do you get in your head into that? And I know the answer is it's repetition and being consistent and keep on doing it. You're going to get better and things will get easier and you can push further. But for that, right, that time for that marathon, the hours and hours and hours of conditioning that he's had to do for his mindset is incredible. How many times he's thought through his sort of running career.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
I've had enough to do.
Aye.
But he keeps going, and we said about it, we talked about it off camera. The boy that came second, right, who's also beaten the world record, still beaten 2 hours.
Who was
I don't know his name.
No, neither do I. So what's his mindset like?
I mean, he's got to be gutted because he was keeping up with him until about 300, 400 metres to go, and then you saw him maybe about 1k out, and you saw him drop off a wee bit, but he was still in sight. I mean, he would have known with 500 metres to go.
But what an achievement!
Oh, for
all
both
three. Was there not a third? What was the third?
I think the third guy was just over the 2 hours.
Yeah, but even that, right? But to be the first guy that does that, and then the second guy doesn't get any of the recognition, really, because I've never really heard or seen any articles about it. You know, Sebastian's up there and he's got the Adidas shoe with the time written on the sole. Great advert for Adidas, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
I don't know if you had them on, he must have.
Surely.
You know, there's so much there for him, and then a guy that done an impressive time in the second half, and came in second, sorry.
Yeah. Who's he?
I wonder what his mindset's like.
I know. He's
obviously still solid, but he's got to be gutted for it,
to run that pace.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think because the two of them were there, when you saw them kind of break away, where I think I was watching it from about 3-4k out, and you saw the two of them break away, all they must have been thinking was, I'm beating him, and the other one's thinking, I'm beating him.
Yeah.
And that's what's kept them going, is the fact that 2-horse race, and one of them had to win it.
Yeah.
And then they must have been, I reckon, they say, I think was it Steve Cram that was commentating on it, and they were saying that, you know, the mindset at that point of, you know that you're in with a good chance of doing it, you're about a kilometre out, you're thinking, right, do I keep the gas on here? Do I keep some in the tank in case he kicks at the end? And he's got a quick last 500, but it was just, they were relentless. It just kept going. It was just the pace was.
And what's the pace? And I can't remember what it was.
It's like pretty much was it not near enough 4 minute miles average pace?
Can't remember.
I'll check. Let's.
But I'm thinking for like trying on a treadmill. See how long you can go at that pace.
So he was 4:33
per mile. What's that, kilometres? Per kilometre.
So he was 250.
250 per
treadmill
kilometre.
speed 21.2 kilometres an hour. A lot of treadmills don't
I don't
go
even know
that fast.
if
Nah. The ones at our gym only go at 12 mile an hour, which I think is what? I'm sure that's only about 18, 19 kilometres an hour, so it wouldn't even go that pace.
Even that though. Even that.
But able to run that
Yeah.
is.
How long do you think you could hold Sebastian Salvi's marathon pace?
Oh, there's loads of it on Instagram.
We need to try it.
There's loads of it on Instagram.
I'm going to try it.
And it was Kirsty that I saw do it the other day. She had a couple of good
Sarah Holden.
44 seconds or something. I think Kirsty made it.
Sarah Holden done it.
Did she?
The other day. She Gymshark sponsor or whatever. Seen that on Instagram. 40 odd seconds.
It's mental pace.
After doing a tempo training run. Which is pretty decent
Fair.
to run at that pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to give it a try. But we're speaking about Eilish McColgan as well.
See, that to me, like I think that's kind of been overshadowed by Sawi and whatnot, obviously, that happened in the elite men's and whatnot. You've got a local girl as well, raised in Carnoustie, as all the best of us are.
Is that where you're from?
That's where I'm from, yeah. Originally. She basically, her toe exploded at like mile 12 or 13. And the bit for me was that she must have got to say, I mean, she was a bit behind, I think it was about 19, 20 miles. Not far, but a wee bit behind. You're at that stage where you know you're not going to win it, or the likelihood of you winning it is very slim. You've got a toe, you've seen a photo, her shoe is red, and then
you don't need to keep going.
You don't need to keep going. There's nothing for her at
that
that level.
Her position, her level that she's at, she could be thinking to herself, nah.
Injury risk. What if I've done something really bad to my toe? If I stop now,
lasting damage.
Yep.
Could affect career later on, but so everything's there.
Especially when there's a genuine injury, because she could have pulled out. Sponsors would totally understand because she's got a genuine injury there.
Yeah.
You know.
But she kept going.
And still finished 7th, top Brit as well.
Yeah. Solid mindset with that.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And you see it, like, you know, she posts a lot on, she's actually quite active on LinkedIn, and she posted on there about, you know, the kind of perseverance and whatnot, and wanting to continue. And I think she deserves all the plaudits.
Yeah,
like, you see what she's done over the past sort of 5-6 years as an athlete, you know, breaking her mum's record and everything, and, you know, she's what an athlete.
I know. So what can we take from that, right? So there's two elite athletes.
Yeah.
Up against hard times, one pushing for a world record. That mindset that it takes for that to just keep going, like at a hard level where everything's screaming at you to stop. And Eilish, she's got an injury, again, just keeps going. There's a story in that, isn't there? You know,
yeah.
No matter what you're doing or where you're at, if you just wind that back a bit as well. So we're not looking at elite runners, but anything that's sort of going on, or you're looking to get through something, just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, think about something or try and relate to something that could give you that little push that just gets it across the line. I mean, there's loads of things that's happened recently with sort of mindset, and in the world of sports, we spoke about Mitch Huber, winning the world's strongest man. Our interview with him when we were down at the Arnold's, you know, and great bit was like, how do you just keep going more or less?
Yeah.
And it's not your ceiling, it's your floor.
Yeah.
What do you do on your bad days? Can you get up and do something? Can you just carry on?
And it was echoed by Andrea Shaw, who said, and you know, paraphrased in effect what he'd said about, you know, wiping the floor, wiping the slate clean, and saying, you know what, I still did something today. I've maybe not done what I expected to do today, but I've done something. Let's make tomorrow better than today.
Yeah, and that adopting that mindset that again, if you start doing that, everything will eventually fall into place. Everything will get better. Like, it's inevitable.
Because he wasn't a hot favourite.
No.
I knew he'd be up there. I watch a lot of strongman stuff and whatnot, and I knew he'd be in contention. But Rain O'Neill won it last year. Absolute unit of a South African, very fit guy, very strong, very powerful. Tom obviously didn't have his best strongman.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't really where he needed to be. I think he said in a couple of interviews afterwards he made some mistakes and whatnot. But he learned from
his
that.
head wasn't in it.
Yeah. But he's gone through a lot this year. Like, he's going through, like, him and his wife are going through IVF and whatnot at the moment. And you know, while we'll say, oh, you know, that doesn't affect your, you know, your performance at a competition, it does.
Of course it does.
It affects your whole
on
life.
Your mind.
That's it.
It's on your mind.
It's something that you're obviously targeting as a family to go out and have children and whatnot, and especially going through something like IVF, difficult times. But it's back to that mindset, because guys, you know, you could just not turn up.
Yeah.
You know, you could just be, I've got a lot going on at the moment, I've got this, but they're still there. I mean, even Luke broke his leg in the harbour like 2 weeks before it, so that knocked him out of World's Strongest Man, but was still there, you know, Tom's biggest cheerleader, you know, as he always is.
Yeah, brothers,
And just managing to kind of to be there, still to perform, granted not to the level that he would have expected, but he was still there, and he learned from it, and that's the thing.
That's a great point, you know, like learning from bad times.
Yeah.
Is a massive thing as well, because like, we've all been through something, and I think, you know, when I've went through stuff before as well, even if I go through something again, I'm like, right, okay, hold on, we've been here before.
Yeah.
And
Deja vu.
Yeah, we can get through this, and whether it's related to what's happened before or something else, or whatever, or a disappointment, or anything. But knowing and having the mindset that it will get better because we've been through this before, we can keep pushing on. You can get past anything.
Yeah.
You can get past anything.
Oh, definitely, and especially with a good support network around you as well. And
which is key.
Like I say, talk to somebody or family at home, friends, your kids. You know what I mean? We've both got kids. Nothing beats a cuddle from your parent.
Yeah.
See when you're feeling shit.
Yeah.
Nothing beats it. It's just a different level. But I think that's one thing. Like we talk about like elite level about mindset, right? But day to day, average Joe, it's amazing. It's amazing how easy it is to give up on the little things, even though you've still got a big goal. Because you know you look at professional life, so you want success in business, you want a successful podcast. But I was at the gym last week, had the worst session of my life, did 3 exercises and left. I was like, nah, not today.
How did you feel after it though?
Shit. I even put the note in my phone. I put worst session ever.
Again, no lessons in it. You went and gave it a bash.
Oh, definitely, and I was there, and that was it.
Showing up is.
But I knew I wasn't in it.
Yeah.
From the first exercise that I did, I was doing like seated rows, and I knew I wasn't there. But
showing up.
That's it.
Is like, it's so important. If you show up and do something, like Mitch Hooper said, when you're on the floor? Can you show up and do
That's
something? Can you go for that 20-minute walk? Can you go and just get some fresh air? Can you speak to somebody, show up, do something? And if you're starting to be consistent with that as well, all the little bits that you keep adding, whether it's every single day you're doing one thing that just pushes you forward that little bit, eventually they stack up.
Yeah.
And it's a big difference. You know?
But then it's weird because you've got... So, I had a similar thing yesterday, right? So we were in the gym yesterday and had the same mindset when I went in. It was just having a long day, busy day in work, which was great, loads of stuff. Obviously going away again this week to deepest, darkest sub-Saharan Africa, and a lot on my mind. And I was like, one more set, and I did a set, and then I was like, right, I'll do one more exercise, and then I was like, right, and it was weird that the outcome of it was great. That lasted probably, in terms of outcomes, probably the best session I've had in ages. But my head wasn't in it. It was so weird that it was just like, but it was that different mindset of the perseverance, and it's probably going back to Sawi and whatnot, is right, let's just get 1 more kilometre out of the way. Let's just get 1 more kilometre. It's micro goals. You know, you've got that objective that they've got for 26.2 miles, 2-hour run, but his goals are probably the little things. It's probably that, right, let's focus on this next kilometre. When the legs start getting heavy, let's focus on the next 500 metres. When you're in the gym, when you're Tom Stoltman and you're in the gym, or you're Mitchell Hooper, let's focus on this next rep. And it's those little micro, and you chalk one off. Yeah. Right, on the next one, you chalk it off, and before you know it, you finish your session, you finish your marathon, your world record holder.
That's good.
Everybody knows who you are now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of elite runner fans would know who he was. Yeah. But you talk about marathon runners, you know, back to Kipketer, Kipchoge, whatnot before, are kind of household names. Sawi probably wasn't really. No. For an average Joe anyway. Yeah. Sitting watching the telly on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah.
But then look exactly what you've just said there, setting that big goal, whether it's world's strongest man, running that marathon, whatever, and that reverse engineering everything from that. These guys will have this all planned out to a T. You know what I mean? And see, once you've got that as well, and you've got a plan in place, it takes a bit of weight off as well, doesn't it? So if there is something you're going through and you're thinking, right, okay, I need to be doing this, need to be doing that, actually sitting down with somebody and like writing things down. Yeah. Writing out a plan, I want to do this, and to get to that I need to do X, Y, Z, and really bring it right back to what you're doing every single day. And that's what I think that's what it comes down to. Is I think so many of us get caught up in, right, I've got this giant goal, I'm going to run a marathon. Yeah. But the goal think about that. The goal sets there though. Exactly. That's what you're doing here. Exactly. And then they're all the small steps all the way towards. And it's achieving those small goals that propels you on to achieve more of them. It's your wins. Yeah. So set up your day. Well, you get up early, you go train, you get that checked off, that checked off. You're in a better place straight away. And then it's on to the next day, day. And then that compound effect, you build more confidence in yourself, mindset improves, you feel better. You know, just consistently doing something. Yeah. Yeah. It's mental how it comes in, and it's sport we're talking about that we've done it in, because it is it's an easy one to relate everything to, but it applies in everything. Like we talked about with a bit of a chat before we kind of started recording about football and the situation, Premiership at the moment. Hearts. Incredible situation. I'm now a Hearts fan. I mean, the sign on the wall would say otherwise as a Rangers fan, but I'm now a Hearts fan. That collective mindset just now. I think that, see, watching the Hearts Rangers game last night, I could see it. That's a team there now, the Hearts team. They've got each other's back. And they're pushing on for this. They're so close to this now. It reminds me of, obviously, I was involved at Arbroath in the season, the 7 minutes from immortality. Yeah. And it was like that, the belief, the camaraderie. But like, you look at the situation that Hearts are in, and I said it to you 2-3 months ago. Even as a Rangers fan, I want Hearts to win the league. Of course you do. Because I want, and even 3 months ago, even more so now. But I think it will completely change Scottish football. Yeah. 41 years since somebody outside the old firms won in Scotland. Yeah. That's not. This has been one of the best seasons that for the title race that we've had in God knows how long. Do you think they do it now? I think they'll do it. I think it's going to go down to the last day of the season. But I said weeks ago. I don't know. The old firm next week. Of the three Rangers win that. Of the 3 teams that are there, the team that beat the other 2 would win the league.
the other games are almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know, if Hearts beat Celtic,
that's it.
Hearts would have to beat them on the last day of the season, but
Yeah.
I think if Rangers beat Celtic have to beat Rangers and then hopefully beat Hearts for them. Whereas I don't think that's going to happen. I think Old Firm game, and I'll jinx this, but I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be so cagey that I think it'll be a draw, and then I think that plays right into Hearts.
If Hearts beat
Hearts would just, and then Hearts just need a draw on the last day of the season.
Draw after that. It's doable, isn't it?
It's wild, and it would be so good for Scottish football.
Yeah.
And it's about that. It's about the mindset in that team. We said it would be a bit of a joke. Obviously, Lawrence 4 goals against Rangers this season.
Love scoring
against the Rangers.
Yeah. But then, what game was it? A couple of weeks ago. Steps up for a penalty. Like, what is going through your head at that point, knowing that you miss that penalty, you potentially risk. You're dropping points.
Yeah.
Potentially, and everything that goes on, that the mindset to step up, calm, and you can see him, and I know him really well, and it's just that breathe, focus,
process. You've got routine in those environments, and that's where sports psychology comes in it massively. And I've done a bit of it with teams in the past, and you've got your process, and as long as you follow your process, you control the controllables, and the rest down to fate.
So I mean, you're doing it every day, daily in training. It's just practicing that, so it's just the same. There's a really good video going about mindset, and it's got Ronaldo going to take a penalty, and you see him speaking. He's actually just visualising, manifesting. He's that you've scored this a million times, just like before. Blah blah. Runs up, slots it back in.
Self-talk, massive. Johnny Wilkinson was one from rugby. Used to watch Johnny Wilkinson as much as I hated watching England win, but in terms of player, phenomenal. Same process with everything he does. Absolutely unbelievable. But it's, and I saw it, like I say, with Arbroath, with 7 minutes from immortality down at Killie, and then the playoffs, and it's the same scenario there, that Bobby Lynn was the other side of that penalty to go through the playoff finals to get promoted, missed the penalty, and like the weight of expectation on him was horrendous, and I don't know how he even took the penalty, to be honest. Somebody who's an absolute hero, especially to Arbroath fans, and has done so much over such a long period of time. Brilliant testimonial year, brilliant guy, really genuinely great guy. Weight of expectation, and keeper went the right way. Nothing he could have done. Keeper went the right way.
It's so then how do you handle the disappointment?
Well, that's it.
The mindset that follows of that. A massive one, if you look back years of like messing things up and people turning against you. Beckham. And he lashed out and kicked.
You saw that in his documentary on Netflix. Like
there's fans burning.
Effigies of him and everything. It was nuts.
It's crazy, isn't it? But to come back against that, and I think it was against Greece. He scored a free kick that put England into the World
Euros.
Cup.
Euros was it against Greece? Because it was against Greece.
Just runs over to the corner, arms in the air, back, just never faltered. But one of the biggest influences for him, and he's got a really good book on leadership as well. Alex Ferguson. Get back into training and doing what you're doing every single day.
But they had such a tumultuous relationship between them. It was always an interesting one, and like he talks about that in the documentary and stuff, and they've both talked about it a lot over the years. I still think Beckham's one of my favourite players ever. I loved watching him.
Phenomenal.
But
for passing the ball.
Incredible. And he doesn't get the plaudits that he deserves. Everybody used to say when he went to Madrid that he wasn't a Galactico. He was.
It is good in the documentary as well. It's his first day of training. With Real Madrid, he goes in there and boys are just going right through him, and he's like, I'm here now, I need to turn this up and get on with it.
But then how do you cope in that? There's one for you, right? So back to the mindset element, right? You're David Beckham, you've come from Man United where you've been very successful, you're arguably Man United's biggest star at the time, you've had not an unceremonious fallout, but a difficult time with arguably the greatest football manager of all time. You've gone to Madrid, you've got the weight of expectation, you rock up in the dressing room from being probably the biggest fish at Man United to Roberto Carlos, Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Iker Casillas, you've got Sergio Ramos
on day one,
you've got R9 Ronaldo, and you're thinking, I'm no big fish anymore.
but it's having that belief that you're meant to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and that mindset of I'm here. There's a reason I'm here.
Yeah.
And he proved it, didn't he?
And then it happened again with Bale.
Yeah.
Same scenario. I think Bale was a phenomenal player.
Yeah. That overhead kick in the
Oh.
Champions League final.
But again, so underrated. And again, I think he got a lot
It was
of
the Champions League final, wasn't
Ah,
it?
it was,
Against Liverpool.
yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. I remember sitting watching
He's
that.
got 5 Champions League winners' medals.
Is he?
5. 4. 4 or 5. That's insane. Wee lad from Wales.
Brilliant.
If he'd have been English or French or German, he'd have been a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. World Cup soon.
I know. Interesting.
How do you think Scotland will get on?
I think we'll beat Haiti.
Uh-huh.
I'd be worried if we didn't
Morocco
beat
will be a
Haiti.
game.
I think Morocco will edge it. I
Yeah.
just think they're a good... North African teams are always that hardy way, but they've always got a few good technical players, and I think they'll be really difficult. And I'm not going to lie,
Brazil.
I think we're going to get pumped by Brazil.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it all depends how the first couple of games
Well, that's it.
play out.
Brazil the third game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 in Boston, then 1 in Miami.
Miami, yeah.
My voice is good.
I think it'll be an
All the
interesting
times.
one. I think it will be an interesting World Cup, just in general, not just for
Yeah,
for
it'll be
Scotland,
good.
but-
It's always good. See, when the football season comes to an end, there's nothing
Aye.
on over the summer. At least we've got this. It'll be good. Not long either now, isn't it?
I know. 6 weeks?
6 weeks. Yeah. Scotland team will be coming out soon.
Yeah. 44 to 28. Is it the drops there?
Think so.
I'm intrigued to see. What would you do, right? Manager mindset, right? Let's flip it onto coaching, which we've both done a lot of, right?
Yeah.
So you're Steve Clarke. You've got a World Cup coming up. You've got what we would class as seniors, the old heads. So like say your Grant Hanleys and stuff. Do you stick with them, knowing that the whole of Scotland, and this is nothing against the likes of Hanley, very good player for Scotland for years.
Yeah.
The fans are already, oh, Hanley's not good enough, the usual that you get from the fans. Would you stick with them, or do you think, you know what, here's an opportunity, let's bring some new faces into the fold that,
As in picking the team
Yeah.
for going.
and for playing?
The pressure of that must be insane.
I think he would take the pressure off himself by
Going somebody else.
going with other players, because let's face it, Suter's not had a brilliant season at Rangers
Yeah. Yeah.
either.
If the Euros were anything to go by. Terrible.
Yeah,
The worst team there.
yeah.
Needs a change, but I don't think he'll change.
I don't think he will either. Which,
I think he's been very loyal to that core group
Yeah.
that's been there, that's qualified through this as well. Yeah, I don't think he'll change. I think he can play players more. Speaking about Lawrence,
well, to
I
me,
think he needs to be the number one striker.
the biggest goal threat we've got.
100%. I don't think Jay Adams is up to it.
Nah, don't think Dykes is up to.
Dykes, do you take both?
I think you'd have the 3 of them on the plane.
3 there, but I think it's time now that, maybe a bit biased, but
I think Lawrence is the only goal scorer.
Exactly.
He's the only striker.
and then you look at the Denmark game,
Well,
you've got absolute incredible goals
Yeah.
that you'll probably never see in the one Scotland game again.
Yeah.
And Lawrence was comes off his leg and just
Yeah.
drops into the net. One of the most important goals.
yeah,
Changed the rhythm of the game.
yeah.
That goes in, everything changes, and you start going to
Oh,
the team start
definitely.
believing a wee bit more again, pushing on. So it doesn't matter how you do it when you're a striker. You put
As
that
long as
ball
it
in
goes
the
back
back
in the net.
of
And
the net.
that's
Ball in
why
the back
Ali McCoy's still my icon.
of the net. Yeah,
Still-
he's class.
Unbelievable. Whether you're a Rangers fan, a Celtic fan, whatever,
Yeah.
he's as a goal scorer, he was always in the right place at the right time. And
Yeah.
some of them are scrappy, some of them are incredible goals,
Just
but
get that ball in the back
they've
of
got
the
the
net.
ball in the back of the net.
That's
And
what's
that's
going to count at the end of the day.
and that's what I think we've missed as Scotland. We've not had. It's one thing that I think we've not had for a long time is out and out strikers.
Yeah.
We've got some really good defenders. You know, you look at Andy Robertson's probably prime example.
Yeah.
Tierney
Phenomenal.
on his day,
Yeah.
especially without an injury, phenomenal. You look at the midfield area, We've got some good players, some good young players as well. Doak in there as well. McTominay.
I think Doak is what we've been missing for a long time, as somebody that's want to be direct, get down that line,
Exciting
footballer, but can actually provide the service that's needed for that striker that's to be there as well. Interesting. Looking
and
forward
then, I don't know, I hope we do alright.
I think we'll. Did we get out of the group stages? Not sure. We won the World Cup if we get out of the group stages.
Well,
that's us.
That's
First
it.
time ever.
Oh, it'd be incredible.
Yeah. Just have an extra game.
Yeah.
Be a big support.
I still remember watching, like, back to, what was that, France 98, Gaza.
Yeah. Was that Gaza that year?
It was.
With the tears.
The one when he...
France 98, was it?
Was that France?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And then the one before that, USA 94.
Yeah. Because France 98 was the one when we played Brazil.
Yeah. Who was in the final of the USA 94? Brazil, Italy. Baggio
Sky.
Penalty. So there we go, right back to the mindset, stepping up of taking an important penalty when there's so much
the biggest penalty you'll ever take in your life. World Cup final.
Yeah.
Hoofs it over the bar.
Over the bar.
Probably one of the best Italian strikers, certainly at that time was the best Italian striker. Yeah. Probably one of the best strikers in the world at that time. Hoofed it over the bar. Probably scored thousands of penalties in training.
Yeah.
Dozens, if not more, in games.
Yeah. And then that massive, the biggest stage in football.
But it was how unceremoniously he skied it over the bar as well. Like that was going over the stand. That wasn't just over the bar.
It wasn't a couple of inches, was it?
No.
It was, yeah.
As I say, that was coming down with snow on it. That was.
Yeah. So lots to sort of think about everything we've spoken about there for mindset, whether it's in sports and life and stuff like that. What is your biggest hack for improving your mindset? Biggest life hack for improving your mindset?
I think it's probably not one that you would normally associate. I'm intrigued what yours will be, but I think for me it's taking the time to celebrate the little successes.
100%.
Because I think we get so bogged down in you've achieved something but you're expected to achieve it, so it's not an achievement almost. It's like, well, I was supposed to get up at 8 o'clock this morning or 7 o'clock this morning because that's what's expected of me is to do that. So you don't take note of those achievements. I'm supposed to go to the gym.
Yeah, but they're all wins.
They're all wins. Because every time you go, it's another one ticked off the list, and it's those little ones of reflecting back on it later on. You know, getting to that night, getting to the end of the week, the Andrea Shaw one. You know, getting back to those small successes that lead to that big success with a big goal in mind, and saying, right, without those little successes, you wouldn't achieve the big goal.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Did you go to the gym today? Yeah, I went to the gym. Did you train the best? Probably not.
But you showed up.
But I was there and I trained, which is more than I would have done if I hadn't gone. And it's taken a little bit of time in the moment to almost appreciate that no matter how well it's gone, you've done it.
Yeah.
And if it's going for a walk for 15 minutes, if it's taking the dog out twice that day instead of once that day, if it's getting up and eating a good breakfast, you know, the basics, or making your tea rather than ordering a Chinese or a takeaway of some description, you know what I mean?
Wins.
It's little wins that you could take the easier option, but you've not.
Yeah.
You've gone above and beyond, and you've said, you know what? No, I'm not going to. There's a good line that I like. Don't settle for mediocrity. So you've not settled for it and said, look, it's all right. I'm just going to have a Chinese. You've thought, you know what? I've got all the stuff there. I've got chicken. I've got veg. I'll go make myself some jambalaya or something healthy.
Yeah.
And you've done that. Because I don't think we do it often enough.
I had a Chinese last night.
Did you?
It was fantastic.
I'm choking for a kebab, I'm not going to lie.
First Chinese I've had this year.
Is it? What'd you have? What's your go-to Chinese?
It was a mix of everything.
Oh, was it?
There was a load of over at the house, so we just got like
thanks for the invite.
Bits of everything. I knew you were busy. Next time. I suppose mine's would be probably two big ones. Mine's for myself is all getting up early and exercising. It just sets me up for the day. I think we spoke about this the last time on the podcast as well. Sets me up for my day. Try and do something really hard in the morning because then everything else after that day
is
easy. But a big one is that self-talk,
Yeah.
your mind's voice, and what you're telling yourself and how you frame things. You know, I'm not great at this. You turn that to, I'm working on getting better at this. You know what I mean?
That shifting the mindset.
It's shifting your mindset. You know, it's learning, but to become. I'm not disciplined at something. I keep sort of, I'm practicing to be more disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just how you reiterate that in that voice in your head all the time. Is there's always a way through things.
Yeah.
This will get better. This too shall pass.
Yeah.
You know, and it's keeping that balance sort of in your life. And there was a really I've used this for loads of like clients and that as well. Mentor of mine that I worked with years ago gave me this great sort of analogy. He said if you picture this triangle, right, and at each point is something that matters to you. So your career, your family and friends, and say then
Your health.
Your health, right? And that triangle's balancing on a ball.
Yeah.
And now and again, it'll
shift
that way, and it'll shift. Okay, so you're focusing too much on your career, and your responsibility is to keep that balance. Because if you're focusing too much on your career,
everything else suffers.
Your health might suffer.
That's it.
Or friends and family, you're not spending time with the kids or whatever. So you've got to try and create that balance. And don't get me wrong, there's people out there that have been super successful.
Yeah.
And they've tipped that balance to their career, and they've went all in for 20 years or whatever. Everything comes with a sacrifice with that. Okay, so if you're tipping that to there, you're sacrificing this, potentially sacrificing this as well. So there's a cost for everything. That
Definitely.
And it's trying to keep that balance, because everything's doable as well, keeping that balance. And if you get that right, there's less stress, there's less pressure. You're quite happy with your health.
Yeah.
Relationships are good, career's working well. And I use this in my own head all the time. That's why I get up early, exercise, and keep that balance. I exercise that time in the morning because I don't have time at night. So
well, that's it. Yeah.
Misses, kids.
Yeah.
Everything else. You know what I mean? And by exercising early in the morning, you keep taking care.
Well,
of
that's it. That's done for
health.
the day. You can focus on the professional element, which is the 9 to 5.
You get through your 9 to 5.
And then you've got the kids afterwards and family. So everything has its...
Getting up early for me ticks a lot of boxes for my mindset and keeps me in the right way. I put a lot down of what I've achieved to that morning exercise and how it sets me up to actually then take on bigger tasks during the day in your career or whatever you're doing later that night, or setting up businesses and working with people, helping them with their businesses and mindset and all that as well. I put a lot of that down to a really good one, like, it's not what you do in your 9 to 5, it's what you do your 5 to 9.
Your 5 to 9, yeah.
In the morning.
It's true.
You could add 4 hours to your day. Like, what are you doing at the other end of the day? Rather than going to your bed.
Well, that's it. I know a lot of people. I know a young guy that was doing something similar, had a job, manual labour, can't remember what field it was specifically, wanted to get into like IT based stuff and marketing and media, but he was doing it his 5 to 9, so he's going to his 9 to 5 and then finishing the day and then spending 4 hours in the evening. Granted, he's in a lucky position at the moment, still a young guy, doesn't have kids, doesn't have family and whatnot, so had those 4 hours to kind of put into what he was doing, and he's doing really well now. You know, he's still early on that path, but you know, it's opening doors for him, and it's putting that in, and I think the key word in that's probably perseverance, because it is easy when you get a knockback or you get a little setback in that, whether if it's the health element, an injury or illness or things like that. It's easy to then you get knocked back, and trying to get back into the mindset of, like, say it's an injury, getting back in the mindset of going to the gym or going for a run or various things like that, it can be difficult to get back into the swing of things again. Personal life, you know, we'll all have challenges in relationships. No relationship's perfect.
Absolutely.
When you get those moments, it's right, how do we get things back on track? If it's professionally, we'll all have setbacks. You know, there's redundancies, there's structural changes at work and whatnot.
You might not get promotions, or you might just the job doesn't come up that you want, and there's loads to it, isn't there?
It's difficult. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Having a good mindset all the time.
No. I don't think that's possible.
No, I don't think it is.
You could always be looking to try and improve it. You can have a mindset to push through things, but things will affect you, regardless of what it is.
I think there was
something that will affect you.
My gran used to say a lot about life in general, that if you've got more good days than bad days, you're doing alright.
You will.
And I think that's so true, and it's, you know, and it's the same in professional life, personal life, health, any facet of your life. if your good days are outweighing the bad, you're always moving forward then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when the bad days outweigh the good that you stagnate or you start going backwards.
And that's when you need to try and think of how you turn it around. Use that positive mindset.
Yeah.
Growth mindset.
Yeah, that's it. The whole person.
That's the one.
So yeah, I think that brings us to a natural end of episode 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. Turned into a bit of waffle, but that's what we're here for, is to talk about real life. We'll be back in a few weeks with episode 3.
2 weeks.
Yeah, more details when Fraser, our lovely cameraman at the back there, and I get back from our adventures in Africa.
We can maybe have a wee episode on that next time.
We could have a wee bit about perspective.
Yeah, good.
Definitely. But yeah.
Done.
Job done.